Hello. Welcome to Brag TV. It's no longer Brag Radio, it's Brag TV, right, Kandas?
No, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. Maybe it's both.
Maybe.
Because we still do podcasts.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, well, we do, but I like Brag TV.
What's happening to your hair there?
Oh, it's in the wind.
So
tell them where we are. It's in the wind. That didn't sound good.
We're in Tampa, Florida today.
We're in Tampa, Florida at the Collective Genius Mastermind. This is a mastermind that I've been in for, what have we been in it for? Like 6 years? 7 years?
You have been attending, you were one of the first 5 or 6, right?
Yeah. I was one of the first few people. Look, there's Mary from Albuquerque. What's up?
Patrick is on too.
How are you doing? There's Patrick. Awesome. So, we're down in Tampa, Florida at the Grand Hyatt near the airport, and we're at the Collective Genius Mastermind. It's a mastermind that, as Kandas mentioned, we've been in for 6 or 7 years. In fact, there's myself and 2 other members that have been in it just as long. There's my daughter. Hi, Linda. So, we've been in it for 6 or 7 years, and it's really the elite of real estate investors. You've got to be doing a minimum of 50 deals a year just to apply to become a member.
Yeah, it's invitation only type of thing, I believe.
Right.
But we've been in it for a long time, and that's where we are now. We're taking a break from the meeting room to make sure we stay on schedule with Brag Radios / TV, I guess.
Exactly. That's funny.
To make sure we bring you guys part 2 of what we were talking about last week. It's been a long week.
There you go. Hey, Mike, what's up?
So, first and foremost, I want to make sure you guys know how appreciative we are of you for all your care and support and concern during Hurricane Florence.
Right.
I know that we still have a ton of students over toward the East Coast, middle of North Carolina, South Carolina, and coastal regions that are still battling with some devastation and damage and things like that. Our hearts and prayers go out to you guys, and we're thinking about you. We pray about you in the mornings at the office, and we're here for you whenever you need us. So thank you guys for being such great students of ours. I know you've seen some emails go out letting you know that our first email went out letting you know our office was getting ready to close. We didn't know how long we would be down, and then another email letting you know that we were back up. So we really appreciate all the prayers and concern that came through email, through calls, and Facebook messages and everything. It's greatly appreciated.
Exactly. And we kind of kept in touch with some of the people that we know that are out on the coast, and they fared pretty well. And we were actually traveling. We had a 3-day event in Dallas, Texas, and so we got home Saturday night, and we could actually land the plane Saturday night in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
during
the storm. So if that kind of tells you how it was, there was a lot of rain, but not a ton of wind or anything like that. So first of all, if you want to get your free investors kit, right? You want to get an investors kit, you can call 877-LARRY-GO. 877-LARRY-GO. I'm trying to put it up on the screen, but it's not working there for some reason, Candace. But anyway.
There's supposed to be a little green dot beside it.
Yeah, I don't know. But you can also text Brag, right? Text Brag to 803-897-6063. Or here we go. Look, it's showing me. I can show it now.
It gets you. The Investors Kit will get you a copy of the HUD Home Tap Off book. It'll also get you a copy of the How to Become a Real Estate Day Trader book. Both of those will be digital versions. There's other options for you to purchase those books if you want hard copies or whatnot. But that link for the Investors Kit and the phone number will get you the digital versions of that. Also, you will be able to access some of the trainings for the Filthy Riches model, for the Ultimate Buying and Selling Machine model, which is wholesaling, which is what we're doing all day, every day right now. And some other trainings as well for asset protection and things like that. So
exactly.
Make sure you give a call or text the word BRAG to that phone number, 803-897-6063.
Exactly. And if you would like to partner with us, we do take on a few partners, not a whole lot, but we do. Look at my hair.
I know.
What's going on
Finish
with that?
your thought. We do take on a few partners related to real estate, not hairdressers for Larry.
Exactly. So we do have a few partners that we work with, and there is a fee involved, and it's not cheap. It's not inexpensive.
I guarantee you it is less expensive than some of the mistakes that you could run into trying to do this by yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. It's a lot less than what I've spent on working with other people. But anyway, it's working with me. It's working with us.
On a lot less than some of the mistakes that we've had.
Exactly.
And partnering with other people.
I know,
and
right?
Education in general, yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of like mentoring, coaching, but we actually partner. But our half of the partner, it's not even our half. Our 25% of the partnership goes to help charities as well. And our goal is to help you get your first or next 3 deals in the next 90 days, right? So next, let's talk about our share partner winner, okay?
From last week.
Yeah. But if you will share this video now, share it right now, right on your timeline, and we're going to pick a winner for next week. And it's not like there's 1,000 people sharing this video yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. So share it right now for a chance to win my HUD Jumpstart training course, and then we'll let you know how you win that. But our share winner from last week, right? Our share sponsor winner is Alan Touchton. So Alan, if you're watching,
yay!
All right, woo! Yeah, baby. So Alan, just email customer service at larrygoins.com for your free HUD Jumpstart. Your free HUD Jumpstart. Okay. So
and Brian, the phone number to text for the investor. No, Brian. The phone number to text for the investors kit is 803-897-6063.
Exactly. I'm trying to get my numbers up here quick, but I can't quite do it. Guys, it is hot out here.
It's not sweating. That hot.
I'm sweating. I am. Okay,
He's a big
next. Next, let's talk about the deal of the week.
Yes, it's awesome.
This is really, really a cool deal. This is, I was talking with this seller, and, we're on the phone negotiating, doing deals, and every day, all day long. And I was on the phone talking to this guy, and he has 6 properties that he's selling, and these 6 houses are bringing in $2,100 a month, right?
Now, hold on a second. Let's back up. Let's back up just a little bit here with this guy, because this is a guy that came to us from the mailer that we've been doing, direct mail that we've been doing. He came to us from direct mail.
Right.
I did the initial lead consultation or lead set or lead call, whatever you want to call it. I talked to him first off of the postcard, and we got some details, and it started off with one house. Then we started talking. He told me he had a whole portfolio of houses. He told me what he wanted to do, what his plans were with real estate. And so as that conversation developed, it started out with one postcard going to one property, turned into these 6 properties, and none of them were actually the initial house that we talked about.
That is, yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
So these conversations that can come up from direct mail, and the number of houses that you can get from one person from direct mail is amazing to me.
It is really cool. We have another example just like that where we mailed a card to somebody about some houses they have in Catawba County, but we ended up buying one. We couldn't buy those 2 because they were too far gone. But we ended up buying one in Cabarrus County, the Kannapolis house, right? And it's a great fix and flip deal. And you can see all these deals at investorsrehab.com, investorsrehab.com.
So, and I guess what I wanted to make sure you guys just understood is if you start doing direct mail, or even if you're talking to a realtor, or you're talking to a seller, don't just chalk it up to that one property that you initially start talking to them about. You need to make sure that during the process of your rapport building that you're asking them what else they have going on. One of the big things we talked about last week was what's going on in your life right now. It's kind of the same thing. You just want to get a feel for everything that's going on to see if there's anything else that you can make an offer on.
Exactly. So always ask them, do you have anything else that you're wanting to get rid of, right? Whether it be houses, cars, boats, guns, gold, right?
I stick to the houses, but I mean,
yeah. You have any old Harleys laying around you want to sell, right? So let's talk about this deal of the week, okay?
Yep, 6 houses.
We bought these deals from this guy. It's 6 houses, all in the same general area, right down in Lancaster, South Carolina. And now they're affordable housing or low-income housing, whatever you want to call it, right?
But everybody's got to live somewhere.
That's true. Remember that, guys. Everybody has to live somewhere. And totally, full. They're all fully rented. They're bringing in $2,100 a month, right? And I know you won't believe this, okay? But I picked up all 6 houses, bringing in $2,100 a month for $35,000. $35,000.
I've seen it. I saw it happen. I've seen it play out.
I recorded the call.
Well, it's a good training call.
It is a good training call.
But it's all about the motivation of the seller. I knew going into this deal what his end game was. What he wanted to kind of move away from, what he wanted to start going into. Mm-hmm. And that just helps foster deals. It helps foster more deals.
That's exactly right. And really his motivation was he wanted to raise some money for another project he was working on, mm-hmm. and he needed $40,000. I offered him $30,000, right? And then we came to the middle at $35,000. But all we're really going to do is we're going to wholesale this to an investor
as a bundle,
all 6, right? We're not going to make $10,000 a house. What we're going to do is we're going to sell them for $50,000 or $49,900. So we're going to make $15,000 on the deal, and we're going to pass it along to somebody else. I mean, even whether it's at 50 or 60 or 70,000, it's still a great deal cash flow wise. Even if you just hire a property manager and they manage the properties for you, it's still a great deal.
There's enough room in the rent. Flow. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
For you to have cash flow. And you guys may ask, and I did too, and maybe you want to address this with them, which I know the answer, but maybe you want to address this for everybody. There is opportunity for you to sell them one-off, right? I mean, there's opportunity for you to hold on to this and just collect the cash flow, to collect the rents. There's opportunities for maybe you to try to sell or finance some of the tenants that are in there. There's a bunch of different things that you could do, but why did you choose for us, or why did you set up the deal for us to wholesale it off as a bundle as well, just like we're buying it?
Exactly. What we did, we're just, like Kandas said, we're just wholesaling it off in a bundle to give other people many other opportunities. You can keep it as passive income. You can sell them to the tenants. You can sell them one at a time wholesale if you wanted to, or, you could sell or finance them to whoever you wanted to. Now remember, they're low income housing, right? Mm-hmm. It's not going to look like a $50,000 house or a $100,000 house. They're low income housing. That's what it is. But you're buying a tremendous cash flow. I mean, think about it. For $50,000, somebody's going to be able to collect $24,000 a year. I mean,
that's some people's salary for a year.
Yeah, they can have it. They can have their money back. I mean, yeah, you got taxes, insurance, and some repairs and maintenance. But I think the guy told me he only spent about $1,200 or $1,500 on repairs on all of them in the last year.
The tenants are solid as well. Now, one of the things that we can tell you in a bulk purchase like this that we're looking at on the buy is to get a copy of the rent roll, and to get some things in place, the tenant applications, just to verify, everything. You could trust but verify. I usually verify then trust, but that's just part of my nature.
That is, and we have the test results to prove that is our nature. Am I right?
We do. So I have been tested. My mother had me tested.
She's not sheltered.
I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested, but I like to verify then trust. But even with us going ahead with the contract, and we were in our period where we're doing our research and things like this on these properties, those are some things that we'll ask for and expect to receive before we actually close on the properties, just to ensure the fact that the tenants are solid and things like that. Now, from what I understand, about these properties, the tenants are help kind of keeping them up. There is, even though they are tenants, there's still there's still some pride of ownership that's taking place with these tenants maintaining some of the things around the properties where the owner doesn't have to do those things, which is always super helpful.
Yeah, that's cool. And you want to get all that detailed information so you can pass it along to your buyer. When you're selling properties, you want to be able to pass that stuff along to your buyer. So if you want to take a look at that deal or any of the other deals that we have other deals where we're buying multiple properties from one seller. Right now, I think we have 16 sellers we're working with.
Yep.
And we have about 22 or 24 properties or something like that in our pipeline. So we're having closings every week, right?
Yep.
So now let's talk about negotiating one-liners for realtors, okay?
Now this is part 2 to finish up last week. Last week we did part 1. If you missed that, go back and listen to that because we had really good questions in the initial part of that as well. So now this is part 2, and go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Get started. Do
Appreciate
your thing.
it. So, last week we talked about dealing with direct to seller. So please go back and check that out. That's episode 124, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's on this Facebook feed right here. But anyway, check that out. But also, let's talk about the realtors. Now, when you're talking to a realtor, okay, you got to remember, nobody gets paid until the deal closes, right? So they're on commission only. They're not on salary. So don't be wasting their time, right? The very first thing that I say to a realtor when I get them on the phone is I say, hey, this is Larry.
Say man.
Say man.
That's what you say. No, but that's what you say.
I do a lot, don't I? So I say, hey, did I catch you at a bad time or you got a second? Now, I'm not asking for, do you have 15 minutes, right? Also, anytime you ask someone an alternate of choice, this is just good sales and negotiating techniques. Anytime you ask someone an alternate of choice, whatever you want them to pick, make it the last choice, right? Did I catch you at a bad time or you got a second, right?
Something
you don't want
in
to
the
say,
psyche that just makes the second one seem better.
I mean, think about it. If someone said, do you have a second or did I catch you at a bad time? A lot of times they'll say, yeah, this is not a good time, right? But whatever you want them to select, make that the last choice, okay? Now, then you say, hey, I was calling about your listing over at 125 Oak Street. You know, what can you tell me about it? Now, notice a couple of things. Notice the word listing. I didn't say, hey, I was wanting to get some information about a house. Realtors can't make any money giving information, okay? That's very, very important. Don't ask for information.
You know,
right?
you got realtors out there saying, amen.
Yeah, exactly. Preach it, Larry. So
I can hear.
Exactly. So, you know, did I catch you at a bad time? You got a second? I was calling about your listing over at 125 Oak Street. Is it still available? Right? You know, I try to talk in terms of the realtor that they can understand, you know, listings and stuff like that. I don't say house and, you know, but anyway. So one of the first things I say is it a blower upper or is it a fixer upper? Now, why would I even say that? That's not going to help me make a sale. It kind of breaks the ice and it gets a little bit of communication going, and it's not something somebody would normally ask, right? So I just say, is it a fixer upper or a blower upper, right? Or a blower upper or a fixer upper? Doesn't really matter, right? So then I'll say something like some other questions I'll ask is how long has it been on the market? Now I can look at Zillow, I can look at Realtor.com and see how long it's been on the market.
It's the same thing,
right?
Just like we was talking about last week. Whenever he's on the phone with the seller, he's still pulling up the information. We still do all this stuff in the background while we're on the phone with somebody most of the time.
Exactly.
So you already know the answers.
Right.
You're like an attorney.
Yeah, ask questions you know the answer to, right? So how long has it been on the market? Have you had many offers? That's another good one to ask. Another one is, how's the market there? Right? Now, a lot of times an agent is going to say, have you seen the house? Right? Have you seen it yet? And, you know, and we tell them, you know, no, we haven't seen it yet. We just, you know, but we want to give you a call and talk to you about the property and then make you an all cash as is offer. Okay. So how's the market there? Now, another question I like to ask is, would this be a better fix and flip or a better rental type property, right? Now, notice I don't call up and I say I'm an investor. I've never said the word investor yet, right? So, but by the questions I'm asking, they get the gist and they know that I am an investor, okay? But I don't want to call up and say, yes, I'm an investor and I wanted to get some information on your property. At
Is that how they sound in your head?
That is how they sound in my head.
Pretty bad.
Well, that's how an investor that doesn't know what to say sounds in my head. Not the realtor, right? So, yeah, you just want to build rapport, or as a guy who used to work with me used to call it rapture. Build
I like
a little
that
rapture. Build a little rapture with them. You got to rap with them back and forth, right? Have a little fun with it. I remember I was calling a realtor a while back, and he answered the phone, and he's getting into his car, and he said his car alarm on. And I said, say, man, do I need to call you back later? Or are you breaking in a car right now or something? And it kind of broke the ice a little bit, right? So another thing that we do is we say, let me tell you a little bit about how we work. And then you might go into something like, we buy houses, we pay cash, we can close very fast. Another line I really
make it true though. If you do have cash, if you can close fast, say those things.
Right.
Because you don't want to give a realtor, especially a realtor that you've been able to build a little bit of rapport with,
right.
Any kind of false assumptions, and because that's not going to end well for you. They're not going to like that.
That's true. Like I think we mentioned this last week, but if a realtor's asking you for a proof of funds letter, they probably don't believe you, right? Now, it could be that's just the way they are, but chances are if they're asking you for a proof of funds letter or something like that, they don't believe you are who you say you are or believe that you can do deals, right? So another thing I like to say with the realtors is the realtors we work with love us because, now think about this, I'm always trying to think from my prospect's head. Now, when you're talking with the realtor, you want them to like you and trust you and want to do business with you, right? So I tell them the realtors we work with love us because, number one, we do what we say we're going to do and we close deals. I might also say something like, you know what? I'm really glad that we connected today because we're going to make a lot of money together, right? I say things like that and get them, they're thinking they're reeling me in, right? For example, if a realtor asks me, well, hey, Larry, I can submit this offer, but you're going to need to send me a proof of funds, a bank statement or whatever, I'm going to turn it right back because, see, they're trying to qualify me, right? They're trying to qualify me. But here's what I'll say. I'll say something like, well, that's not a problem. We can do that. In fact, would it be okay if I just sent you a copy of a bank statement showing we could buy about 40 of these houses and pay cash? So, see, I'm gonna throw it right back at them, and they're trying to reel me in and qualify me. But on the other hand, I want them. I'm reeling them in, right? When I'm saying, in fact, I can send you a bank statement showing we can buy 40 or 50 of these. I got a nibble, right? I'm reeling them in, right? We got to go deep sea fishing while we're down here.
No, we don't.
We don't have time. All right. So anyway, so that's just some of the things it would say. Also, when I'm talking to them, I find out, well, what kind of work do you think it needs? Just a ballpark. Always, always, always throw the words out. Just a ballpark when you're asking them about the amount of repairs.
Yeah.
Right? Just a ballpark. Because if you don't, they're going to come back and say, well, I'm no contractor. Or they might say, well, you're the investor. You tell me. Right? They'll do stuff like that. So just say just a ballpark. I'm not looking for anything to hold you to. You want to say those words as well. If they're a little skittish on answering your question. I'm not looking to hold you to anything. I just need to get a ballpark. And then what you do is, well, let me run a few numbers here. Let me run a few numbers. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it sounds like a calculator. All I'm really doing is
on
tapping,
the keyboard.
tapping on. I'm tapping on the side of the laptop. That's all I'm really doing. So let me run a few numbers. Which, by the way, if you need a calculator to tell if it's a deal, it's not a deal. Okay. So I basically say, based on what you're telling me, it looks like I probably need to be around, and I might say something like, low to mid 30s. In fact, the last house we bought, very similar to this. It reminds me of that house we just bought over there on Johnson Street, and I think we paid $27,000 or $28,000. And then I'll immediately change the subject and say, do you get very many listings like this? Because I'm sure we can make a lot of money together. See, now I've thrown my number out there. I've price conditioned them, and then I even lower it again. Low to mid 30s, $27,000, $28,000, and then I immediately change the subject, right, to get them to answer a different question. but I've put my number out there. See, most newbie investors will say, well, you know, based on what you're telling me, I probably need to be around, you know, $28,000 or $29,000. And then they shut up, right? They just stop, right? You can't do that. You can't do that. You're going to get a negative response, okay? You're going to get a negative response. So what you need to do is put your number out there and then change the subject. That's very, very important, right? So you're going to like these next couple right here. One of the things that we say is, based on what you know about the seller and the property, would you like to email the seller or asset manager and let them know you have a serious cash buyer, right, in this range, and let them know and see if they would want to put it on paper, right? Now, what that does is it lets them know that, you know, you're a serious cash buyer, and you don't want to have to fill out a contract, right, seal it in, unless they require it. Now, some of them are going to come back and say, well, you know, Larry, I need your proof of funds. And then that's when I go into the little proof of funds story. I can send you a copy of a bank statement. If you can't do that, go online. There's all kind of transactional funding lenders you can go, and you can get a proof of funds letter, and you can say, oh, I can send you a proof of funds letter showing I have access to $500,000, right? So anyway, so then what we do is if they come back and say, I need your proof of funds, I need to submit a contract, blah, 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 I'll agree with them. I'll say, you know, we can do that. That's not a problem at all. I'd be happy to do that. However, now you're going to love this. However, the realtors we work with on a consistent basis and close a lot of deals with, they typically have the kind of relationship with their seller or asset manager where they could simply shoot them a quick email. See, I'm making it sound real casual. Shoot them a quick email. Let them know we have a buyer in this range, you know, a cash, serious buyer, right? And ask them if they want to put it on paper. So let me ask you, do you have that kind of relationship with your asset manager or seller? Now, see, what that does is it puts it back on them. It makes them sound inferior if they don't have that kind of relationship, right? So try that and see how it works. Let me know how that works. That's a really, really good strategy right there. When a realtor wants you to put it on paper, send you proof of funds and all that, just agree with them. Hey, we can do that. That's not a big deal. However, most of the agents we work with on a consistent basis, why am I using the word consistent? All my words are carefully chosen.
In more than just this conversation. Ask me how I know.
Because realtors, how do they want to get paid? Consistently, right? They want to close deals every week, every month, right? So the realtors we work with on a consistent basis, they typically have the kind of relationship with their seller where they can shoot them a quick email, let them know we have a serious cash buyer in this range, and ask them if they want to put it on paper. Do you have that kind of relationship? Right? So it kind of puts it off on them. They're almost embarrassed to say no, right? So another thing you want to ask them before you get off the phone is, do you mind if I get your email address so we can stay in touch and I can buy some more houses? Now, notice the verbiage here. Do you mind if I get your email address so we can stay in touch and I can buy some more houses? I haven't bought the first one yet, right? I haven't even bought the first one yet. And we're talking about buying more houses. It's all subliminal, right? It's all subliminal. You like this stuff, don't you?
I think I see it. What's funny to me is like I see it playing out. I hear it in the office, and it gets the responses that you're actually looking for.
Bottom line is it works, right?
Yeah.
It works. So the last thing I want to share with you is make sure you ask the realtor, do you have an automatic email notification list you can put me on to get properties in the area? Because we buy properties in a pretty wide area.
Right.
So that's what you want to do. Ask them, get on their automatic email notification list, and you can give them keywords if you want to. Handyman special, fixer upper, cheap cash, divorce, transfer, motivated, reduced, must sell, abandoned, foreclosure, REO, seller addendum required.
Sounds like you said this a few times, right?
I know, right? Hey, Courtney, what's up?
Hey, Court.
How you doing? So that is the negotiating one-liners for realtors. Go back and listen to this. Write them down. It's really, really good information. And guys, if you got a lot out of this, please share it now for a chance to win our HUD Jumpstart course. I wrote the book, HUD Homes Half Off, and we have a Jumpstart home study course at $297 is what it costs. We're going to give it away to someone who shares this video next week. Courtney, I know you already have it.
You are ineligible.
Right. Good. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to see us today too, Courtney. That's awesome. It's great to hear from you. We miss you. We love you. So share the video now. And also, if you want to work with me personally, with us, with getting your own real estate business up and running, or taking it to the next level, we also help people scale their business if you're already doing business. And so we'll help you scale it as well. If you'd like to apply for that, just go to LarryGoins.com/apply, right? Is there anything else you can think of, Kandas?
No.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
All right, cool. We're going to go back in here in the mastermind. There's about, what'd you say, 120, 130 people here?
Yeah, this group, and we're part of a few masterminds, and both of them are great. All three of them are great. But when you get around this caliber of people, it just energizes so much. And I didn't really understand the full scope of that, the full effects, I guess you could say, of that until I started coming. I know that early on, when Larry became a member and he would come back to the office with all these ideas, and we were constantly chasing the 8 ball, and because he wanted to implement all of this stuff that he sees here.
Right.
It was hard for you, and it feels a lot better now that we're doing it together and we get back and we can actually talk about stuff here instead of you getting back and being all excited and me being so in the daily grind that I hadn't even been able to step away to think about
I don't
tomorrow.
have to sell her on the ideas that I heard while I was here, right? I would come back with a tremendous amount of ideas, and I would say, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. You know, it's kind of funny. Now, both of us want to simplify things more, don't we?
Yeah, and we do. And actually, we'll be in a session and we'll hear something and like, that's awesome. And we both know that it's a great idea, but it's not where we're going right now. Right. And that feels good too, to know where we're going, to know maybe we don't know the path that we're going to take to get there. I mean, we had a surprise today. So
every day surprise.
Every day is surprises. And you just deal with those as they come up, but to be able to be around this caliber of investor, knowing that they're doing deals, knowing they're facing the same things that we are, is really good. This is the level that you guys want to get to, and it starts with application of the education you've already received. That's you right. guys have a ton of education already. You need to put action to that, not just let it sit there on a desk or on the shelf or whatever, and don't let the notes that you took from today just sit on a notepad. Use them in your conversations with the realtors, with the sellers, with whoever. Get involved with, whether it's with us, find somebody that you know, like, and trust, like you say. Find somebody that you know, that you like, that you trust, that you see how they operate their business, you know the deals that they're doing, and get as close to them as you can. If you have to buy your way in, buy your way in. And that's what we do every year with these masterminds that we're in.
Every year.
Now,
we buy our ways in again.
These guys and girls we can call friends, but there's still a cost to play. You still pay to play. And it's application is what you guys really need. And if anything from the last week's event that we had, from the events that we've had early on this year and the ones that we're going to have, that would be my biggest takeaway from any event that we even put on, is make sure you take action on what you learn.
That's awesome.
That's all I got.
That's good stuff. It really is. The key thing she said was everybody gets that education, but you need application, implementation, right? You've got to apply the education and information, just like this stuff right here. It's not going to do you any good if you never make a phone call, right? It's not going to do you any good if you never make a phone call. So, guys, share this video. We appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a great day.